Hey guys, it's Dr. Justin Marcagiani here. Hope everyone is doing fabulous today. We did a live podcast this morning on gut healing nutrients, the top 7 gut healing nutrients. I'm going to just give you my top 3 here in the meantime, and then we're going to dive in and do a live Q&A on this topic. So before we do, make sure you smash that like button. Really appreciate it. Thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications of great content and all of our live videos moving forward. Also, put your comments down below. Let me know what you've done that's really helped improve your gut on that healing and inflammation type of phase. What's kind of really calmed that gut down? All right, so a couple of things off the bat. One of the major reasons why your gut gets stressed is catabolic physiology. This is where your adrenals pump out a lot of adrenaline and cortisol, and you start to break down amino acids. Now, a lot of the enterocytes in your gut, they need glutamine to actually heal, recover, and generate energy, or to create energy. And glutamine is one of these amino acids that gets broken down when you're stressed. There's actually been studies out there where people do long distance aerobic exercise or cardio, and they can actually increase gut permeability. You can create a leaky gut from excess cardio and aerobic exercise because your physiology shifts into that catabolic state. You make more cortisol and adrenaline, too much, and you start breaking down those amino acids, and then there's not enough building blocks to help prepare the gut lining. Therefore, it's more permeable and more inflammation and potential autoimmunity from that. So glutamine is one of these very important, powerful nutrients that provides the amino acids for that fuel source and building blocks to build those enterocytes back up. Second will be zinc. There's studies on zinc showing them to be very helpful, especially zinc carnosine, at regenerating that gut permeability, especially exercise-induced gut permeability. So zinc is excellent. In my GI Restore formula, I have all of these in there. So we're going to have the zinc carnosine in there. We'll do 10 to 20 milligrams a day. We'll have the extra L-glutamine in there as well, which is very, very powerful. The next two I'll kind of combine are going to be aloe and DGL licorice. Aloe and DGL are phenomenal because they have mechanisms that modulate various inflammatory cytokines or interleukins. So we have interleukin 1 and 6 and different cytokines. We have nuclear factor kappa beta. We have TNF alpha. These are all these inflammatory cytokines, which are chemical messengers that are stimulated from the inflammation. And then your immune system, your immune cells in the gut will create a protein called calprotectin as well, which is a sign of inflammation in your gut. So licorice and aloe, DGL licorice and aloe can really help modulate those cytokines, and they can have a protective antioxidant benefit. So when there's a lot of stress in the gut, you may see free radicals increase because of a lot of the oxidation. So oxidation is when you lose electrons, right? Oxidation is a loss in electrons. When your cell loses electrons, it becomes unstable, and you can have what's called free radical stress. And so free radicals kind of come in there and they chip away when the cell's unstable at the DNA. So if you have things that have antioxidant type of qualities to it, they can donate electrons freely, stabilize those cells, and protect that oxidative stress, thus decreasing all that free radical DNA damage. So aloe, DGL are very powerful. I like zinc. Gut permeability. Over-exercise can create gut permeability. People do not understand that. Very powerful. A lot of marathon runners post-marathon or post-extreme exercise actually have very low IgA levels, partly because of that, because your immune system takes a huge brunt when you undergo that kind of chronic aerobic exercise. And the first one I mentioned was the glutamine, which is a very powerful fuel source, and that chronic catabolic physiology can really affect your gut too. People think of it, it affects your body and your muscles. They forget the cells in your gut as well. So I just wanted to highlight there. Hope you guys appreciated that information. We'll put a link down here below from today's podcast. You guys can take a look at it and review the top 7 where we go a little bit more into depth, have a lot more of a longer conversation on the topic. But in general, one of the major things you can do outside of the top supplements we chatted about today is going to be cutting out the inflammatory foods that are going to drive gut inflammation. That's going to be gluten. That's going to be your refined dairy. Processed sugars are going to be a big one. A lot of your legumes and your lentils are going to be a little bit more gut irritating as well. So getting the anti-inflammatory foods down are going to be big, right? That's going to be a huge step. Right, the first thing you can do to reduce inflammation is stop adding inflammation or gasoline to the fire, so to speak. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Anytime you have gut inflammation, you're going to have gut permeability. Anytime the gut's more permeable, you're going to drive your immune system to be overstimulated, right? Undigested food particles go from the gut into the bloodstream, and now your immune system is starting to over-respond to these proteins, and that can create autoimmunity. It can create increased food allergens. It can create more environmental allergens, etc. Questions here. Let's dive in. Exercise-induced gut issues you mentioned when you take the supplements if you still want to continue your normal exercise morning routine. Well, it just depends. I mean, you shouldn't be doing exercise that makes you weak, that stresses your body out. So if you're really doing exercise that's causing you to be disrupted that much, then I would say you should be looking at a different exercise routine. Now, if you're a professional and you're just really addicted to these type of exercise routines, right? A lot of the chronic cardio stuff, triathlon stuff, well, you really need to be doing a lot more of these extra nutrients, maybe in a smoothie or a shake ahead of time, and make sure you're getting a lot of rest and you really have good digestion and you're getting a lot of good amino acids and fats to help provide the building blocks to repair and recover. Do you have a link to the preferred oral glutathione one can take? I don't have a link, but if you email my office@justinhealth.com, we recommend a liposomal reduced version that works awesome. Email the office, we can help you out. For staph infections, what to apply on them? So for a staph skin infection, just depends. So you could do, just trying to think here, for a staph skin infection, there's some colloidal silver gel that can be used. There's a product called Mother of All Creams. If you go to justinhealth.com/shop and click on Just in Health approved products, I have a couple of creams there that I like that work really well on for topical stuff. Will gut problems deplete your B1 or B8 inositol? Can this cause anxiety? Well, yeah, if you have gut issues, it can definitely affect a lot of your B vitamins for sure. It can also affect you absorbing your amino acids, which make your neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine. That could easily cause anxiety. Also, I'd say your fatty acids are really important. Your cholesterol, these are all building blocks for your hormones. So anytime you have building block nutrient issues, they can express themselves in mood and energy and cognitive and anxiety because you need these nutrients to make your brain chemicals. If you have a deficit, a bottleneck in those nutrients getting there, yeah, the physiology is not going to be able to express itself optimally, and that means symptoms, right? It doesn't mean a deficiency in Prozac or Adderall or Ritalin or an SSRI or an SNRI medication, right? Those things may be okay for a stopgap measure to fix the underlying issue, but they're not meant to be on long term because you're just robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? You're not fixing the issue, and you're just trying to manage the symptoms. Typically, side effects occur over time, and you need more of the medication because symptoms get worse over time, and the medication loses its benefit or effect. So you end up jumping from medication to medication, or you need to raise the dose. So in general, guys, gut's going to be a big one. Food's going to be a big one. And then getting a lot of the healing nutrients on board to kind of stabilize the gut's going to be very important. So if you guys enjoy this content, put your comments down below. Glad that you're engaging in it. Take a look at the podcast that we did this morning. You should you can subscribe to the podcast as well on iTunes. I really appreciate it. Write a review there. That'd be awesome. justinhealth.com/iTunes to write that review. That'd be helpful. If diet is dialed in but experiencing very achy joints, would you start taking omega-3 to help? Yeah, omega-3s are going to be great for inflammation. They're going to help the brain. They're going to help the joints. Remember, a lot of mood stuff in the brains can be inflammation, right? Inflammation in the body, inflammation in the brain. So omega-3s can really help reduce the inflammation in the body and the brain. I'd also be leaning into a lot more collagen. So my True Collagen is a great option to provide a lot of the cartilaginous building blocks that you typically don't get in your foods unless you're doing lots of soups and broths from bone, right? That's going to be a really good start to get a lot of those nutrients in. Excellent. For deep skin staph infection, which one's better, essential oil or cream? You probably want to I would do the Mother of All Creams. Take a look at the store like I mentioned. That'll be a good product for you. That should be helpful. And then you can always get like a really good, they have some good colloidal silver soaps that are excellent too. But worst case, you could always just do like a Neosporin too, which is like a triple antibiotic. You know, I don't mind an antibiotic topically because it's topical, right? It's very specific. You're not taking it internally and blowing up your gut. So you can try some of the natural stuff, but if you need a nice Neosporin, that's got some zinc in there. and that's got a triple antibiotic. That's not bad, but you can try some of the natural stuff first and then go to that as a second. Dr. J, glad to see you. Is my left wrist pain caused by some inflammation? It all depends upon the mechanism of why or how it came about. If it's a chronic kind of wear and tear thing, you have to look and say, well, is the chronic wear and tear physiological mechanism, the physical mechanism, is it reasonable, or has this been something you've been doing typically and it hasn't been a problem and now it is? So if you think it's more unreasonable, yeah, I would definitely look at the diet and all the natural things you can do to reduce inflammation. Excellent, guys. I got to jump on a patient call. It was excellent chatting with y'all. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's worked for you guys, and you have a phenomenal day. We'll be in touch. All right, take care, y'all. Bye now.